Well, thank you so much, Jack, and thank you, Jen. First of all, I'd like to just thank the IEC, and I want to introduce my wife, Nora Sullivan, and my daughter, Maggie Koehler. You know, it isn't lost on me that all of a sudden I'm in front of a crowd of some 650 people who are really environmental champions in this state, if not the Midwest or the United States, and here you're giving me an award. You know, I am in awe of what you do. I'm in awe of what the IEC is able to do. And I'm so glad to be from Illinois. You know, Illinois is a leader on a number of different levels. And I want you to know that I'm an Illinoisan by choice, not by birth. I grew up in South Dakota. And, you know, I guess Jack mentioned the story about bringing together environment and labor groups together. Well, I left South Dakota after graduating from college from a small liberal arts school, went to seminary. And while I was in seminary, I was recruited to work for the National Farm Worker Ministry, which meant I went to work for Cesar Chavez and the United Farm Workers Union for 6 years. And so that's where I met Nora, but that was my real education. And so it really instilled in me the importance of labor, of dignity in work, of people having something to show for to their families. And so I became really quite enamored with the labor movement. We got to Peoria, and we said, yeah, it's a nice place. We'll stay here for a couple of years. And now it's 45 years later. But my job, I started out with, they wanted an ordained minister, community organizer, so I went to work for Friendship House, but I soon became the first director of the Peoria Area Labor Management Council. And there I learned to work with labor and management in terms of trying to forge a better partnership. And that really helped to instill in me that what you need is to have common goals, common interests. And that's what happened when Jack talked about this with working with environmentalists and labor. And actually the story is that I called my labor friends and my environmental friends to a meeting at the Labor Temple, which was where my office was, and I said, folks, we're all on the same page politically here, but you're driving me nuts. You know, because you keep pulling me this way and that way, and I love both of you. So I said, why don't we get together and see where our common interests are? Because we really need to work together if we're going to make some progress in this state. And that was pre-FEJA and pre-CEJA. And we met for all these months and all these years, and I began to hear different language being used by both sides in how they were respecting one another. And I'll just leave you with this story. This kind of is the epitome of why we have to listen to each other and why we have to work together. So, and I learned this at Harvard Law School. Went to take a course called Getting to Yes. The subtitle was Negotiating Agreement Without Giving In. It was written by Roger Fisher, who was the head of Harvard Law. But there's two kids that are fighting over this orange, and the parents are tired of hearing them bicker back and forth, and so they take that orange and they slice it in half, and they give each kid a half an orange. So did that solve the problem? What if I told you could have solved 100% of the interests of each of those children with one orange? Because one was hungry and wanted to eat the fruit, and one was in a scouting class and needed the orange peel to bake a cake. And so you could have solved the whole problem for both of them if you'd have asked the question, what is it you want? What is it you need? And so I think that's where our success is going to be in the years to come, and Jen outlined the agenda. But we have to build a coalition. We have to talk about our friends in transportation. We have to talk about our friends in labor. I'm very proud. I'm running for re-election this year. I have the endorsement of the Farm Bureau, and that means a lot in central Illinois. And so does Sharon Chung, who's running for a house in Bloomington. We share that district. But this is the kind of coalition you need to build, and we need to listen. We need to say what's important. What's important is that we clean our air, we clean our water, and we make this environment a better place for our grandchildren. Thank you very much. I appreciate this.